Okay, so apparently I'm supposed to be waiting for an optimal moment to use my super. Like, I just thought that was another ability. I mean, it's called your super ability, and can you blame me? I mean, the cooldown is so short, and sometimes it just does this. Oh, that's not normal? I mean, it is with this build. Hello and welcome back to Oh my god, it's finally a normal build video again. Where today we're showing Stormcallers that you too can be a super generating, enemy obliterating, shaken bacon goat. Goat, of course, standing for gamer of all time. Insert epic segue now. We are once again rocking an exotic class item, and there's no alternative this time, so go get one if you don't have it. The exotic class item here is anything with Spirit of Galanor. I opted for Galanor Syntho just for simplicity's sake and for some extra generation with mod setups, but just about anything works. Something like Coyote or Star Eater is a bit more straightforward, but if you get something like Falcon or Sidarachne, you can end up in a little bit more of a hybrid setup, so just spec a little differently for that. The build itself has one goal, and that is to get super and then just let it rip. And that's pretty much it. Because of the way that a certain super... Hey, get out of the video. Get out of here. I'm not talking about you yet. Interacts with Spirit of Galanor. Our aspects, we're unsurprisingly rocking Gunpowder Gamble and Stylish Executioner. Gunpowder Gamble is just up all the damn time, and we're going to use it to generate even more super energy. Stylish Executioner is here for survivability reasons and is going to help us get dodge back with this setup since we will need it occasionally. Honestly, feel free to swap these two out if you need it. This is pretty flexible. Our abilities, we are rocking Threaded Spike for even more super generation with our mod setup and Duskfield for even more survivability. Finally, we're throwing on Silence and Squall, Now You Can Show Up, because of its unique interaction with Spirit of Galanor, which I will talk about more in the overview segment. For our fragments, we're obviously rocking Protection, since there's basically no reason not to. For Devotion, that's going to help us grab some Light Transcendence energy. If you don't have that problem, throw on something else. Balance is going to give us some free ability regen, though for our melee, hopefully we don't need that too much. Solitude is pretty much good in any setup and provides even more survivability. And finally, Hope is going to give us some much-needed class ability regen, since Stylish Executioner will count for it, and my mobility stat is, looking forward to the Edge of Fate rework. Speaking of stats, let's go over those. My stats end up on a classic high result, high strength, high discipline build. I did not spec in mobility in the slightest. If you have the ability to do that, you probably should, though at this point, I wouldn't worry about it too much since the stat reset is coming in less than a month and we're getting a bunch of new toys to play with there anyway. For our mods, I'm rocking hands-on to expedite super generation with Spike and Syntho since we're just killing so many things with our Spike. I also threw on Harmonic Siphon since I have Tenacious on. If you're not on a stasis weapon, obviously use something else. In our arms, priority number 1 is going to be Firepower. DPG work with it, and super generation is everything here. Altering Detonation also is going to give us more dodge energy, and Impact Induction is here for more grenade energy, just to round things out. We're rocking Insulation for one final bit more class energy, and Recuperation, since our Recup is, not very good. Finally, Reaper is uniquely useful on Hunters, since they do tend to flop around on the floor quite a bit. And finally, Distribution for even more cooldown regen, and it also gets us more super ability energy, and we're not going to complain about that. In terms of the artifact, we are once again in keep it simple, stupid mode. Not going too crazy here, mostly just weapon-based stuff. We're on flashover defib as well. Articles in there too for linear fusion stuff, but Elemental Siphon does make a special appearance here, since we are running both a stasis weapon and a stasis super, and it's just free melee energy. The build is pretty simple, and this setup only requires as much brainpower as you want to put into it, and that's because of the way that Spirit of Galanor interacts with Silence and Squall. Spirit of Galanor restores your super for each kill and hit, and that tracks individual ticks of super damage rather than actually tracking the amount of projectiles that are spawned, like with the base Galanor exotic. Because of this, the Tornado spawn from Silence and Squall that rapidly ticks for damage basically guarantees that once your super ends, you're getting 50% of it back, assuming even a decent amount of those ticks actually do damage. Now, you can't just throw it willy-nilly. If you don't hit a decent amount of ticks, you're either not getting your super refund, or you're probably just not being very efficient. You need either, 1, a massive group of enemies, where it doesn't matter how fast they die, because your tornado is just going to be taking so many different enemies, it doesn't matter, or a target beefy enough to survive the tornado ticks for long enough to get the refund. Either one works. If you don't have a yellow bar enemy or a good-sized group in front of you, do not yeet your super. A better opportunity will come, and I guarantee you will not have to wait long. If there is even a halfway decent opportunity, just let it rip. When your super's active, try not to devote too many resources, if any at all, to generating your super. Reason is that Galanor operates on a sort of bowling scoring system. It doesn't tell how many hits you've got until the super's over. Galanor, like every other chunk super generation exotic, is capped at 50%, so if you generate a lot of super energy, none of that matters if your Galanor refund is still on standby. After you get your Galanor energy, that's when you should go nuts. Throw spikes, huck out GPG, dodge on cooldown, whatever to get your super back, and then you just do it all again. In terms of this build's viability, Silence and Squall isn't winning itself any gold medals anytime soon. It's definitely in the weaker half of prismatic supers. Then again, trying to choose the worst one is like trying to choose the worst lump of solid gold to take home with you. But it was still doing the thing it was supposed to do, that being mass CC enemies, even in GM level content. I'd actually argue this setup is even better in higher level content since things are going to be surviving long enough to take a few hits from your super before they die. Having said that, you do not need to be in a GM to see success. I've run this just in Master Lost sectors at -10 and even Dual Destiny, and there were heaps of success there. If you want a super-oriented build that isn't just Heather Spam or Celestial Nighthawk, this is for you. It's a little bit more of a mass CC style ability spam rather than just deal a big chunk of damage, but anywhere you've got a big chunk of enemies just waiting to die, this is a good build for ya. Alright, normal build videos are going to be on pause here for a little bit. As we transition into the Edge of Fate, we're definitely going to be making a few prep videos. I'm going to be showing you what builds I'm taking in, and also what to shove into your vault. That video is coming, I promise. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to make, but definitely be on the lookout for those. Alright, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now!